Hey, in this video, I'll be talking to you about the real reason you are single. And it's probably not the reason that you think it is. Most people think they are single because they just haven't met the right person. They haven't crossed paths with their person. Or they're not good looking enough, or they don't make enough money, or they're not in the right kind of shape, or whatever other reason a lot of us come up with. But what if the real reason you are single is because your nervous system doesn't feel able to attract relationship, able to have connection with another human being? And that, I suggest, is the deeper problem for many people. So it doesn't matter how much you scroll on dating apps, how much you looks max, or do self-development, or learn dating advice. You're not going to fix your nervous system through any of these things. When you do fix and regulate your system, that's where things will start to shift for you, right? And so what I wanted to do in this video is I want to give you 4 reasons your nervous system is keeping you single. Now, I will be approaching this more from a man's perspective because I'm a man and that has been my experience, but there is a lot of overlap as well. So if you're a female watching this, I still believe there's a lot that you can gain from this. Okay, so let's get right into it. The first reason you are single is because safety is the foundation of connection. So when you're not at peace in your body, when you are dysregulated or you're living in survival, you don't feel safe in your body. You don't feel safe, right? If you don't feel safe, you can't be real. You cannot be authentic. You can't be who you truly are. Now, if you cannot be your true self, there's no way you can have intimacy or connection with another person. Many people might not even realize that they are in survival or fight flight. I didn't for the longest time. It's only when you come back to yourself, you regulate your system, you start to become more real and more you. Now you're available for connection. Because when you become more authentic, you actually emit a different signal energetically, right? Something I've talked about in a lot of other videos is your heart is like an electromagnetic frequency amplifier. Whether you like it or not, your state is always being amplified around you, into your vicinity, wherever you are, right? Your energy is always being emitted. So if you don't feel safe, or you're anxious, or you're depressed, or you're angry, or whatever it might be, that's the energy you are putting off, sending out. That is not attractive energy for anybody, right? People want to be around safety. Is your energy grounded? Is your energy present, centered? When it is, now you're sending an energy of, I am centered, I am authentic, I am available for connection. When you're sending out that kind of energy, other people will tune into that if they're on that similar type of frequency, and now they'll be able to connect with you, and now you'll be able to have a relationship with them, right? And I'm not just even talking about intimate relationships, just general friendships, or just bumping into people, right? Why do you vibe with certain people and not others? Because you're not vibrating on the same kind of level, right? When you get your nervous system right, you become more authentic, real, connected. Now intimacy can find you, real connection can find you. So safety is the predominant human need, right? There cannot be relationship without safety. So moving on to the second reason you are single is because you have blocks to love. Again, a lot of people who've been traumatized, had a lot of negative experiences, or bullied or abused, you tend to close, right? You get very defensive. Now, when you are defensive, you cannot allow anything in. You closed yourself, right? Naturally, you closed yourself because of the things that happened to you, made you scared, and you felt like you had to close just to survive. The problem is when you closed yourself in this way, the good stuff can't come in either, right? Yeah, you're keeping out the bad stuff, but you're now also blocking the good stuff, the love, the connection, the intimacy. And literally, we develop blocks to letting good stuff in. I know this sounds crazy, it doesn't make sense, but the human mind is not logical. A lot of it doesn't make logical, rational sense, but this is what happens. So I would suggest you do a lot of things like shadow work on this to find out ways that you have closed yourself. Because on some level, love might not feel safe to you. Connection, intimacy just doesn't feel safe. So why would you let something in that deep down doesn't feel safe to you? You just wouldn't do it, right? Your unconscious has a lot more control, as you probably know, than your conscious mind. So when you cultivate more safety, going back to the first point, then you can begin to relax your defenses. Then you can start to let the good stuff in. And I'm not just talking about love and connection and intimacy, but well-being, health, abundance, like success, all this other stuff you want, right? You're also blocking that out. So understand that you have defenses to the very things that you really, really want. The third reason you are single is because connection comes from regulation, not from performance. In men's dating advice, there's a big emphasis on the external things. How much money do you make? How good looking are you? How fit is your body? Are you in great shape or not? How much success have you had? How much have you achieved? And all these external trophies. I agree the external trophies can draw people to you, right? They are attractive. They are attractive because they paint the illusion that I'm a confident, worthy person. And these trophies reflect my self-worth. However, they don't always reflect someone's self-worth. A lot of the time they don't. A lot of the time people are insecure, feel unworthy, lack self-esteem. So they pursue these things to create the illusion of I'm a worthy, worthwhile person. But unfortunately, having the external things won't necessarily mean you find that intimacy, that relationship that you desperately want. In fact, there's no evidence to suggest that it would. It would potentially attract people to you, I'll give you that. And I think you should emphasize them things. But when it comes to the deeper level, if your system is not regulated, you don't feel safe, you don't feel good enough, your woman or your partner is not going to feel good around you, right? She's not going to feel like she can trust you. She's not going to feel safe around you. And then there can't be any connection, right? So I would suggest men spend a bit more time regulating their system, getting calm, present, peaceful, authentic. And then you can still pursue the other things, but understand that if someone took all them things away from you, who would you be? Would you still be the same person? Or would you lose something about yourself? And if you would lose something about yourself, then you need to figure out what that is and find it within. Leading on to the last reason that you are single is because of emotional inconsistency. Now, when you are dysregulated, your nervous system is not at peace, you're going to be very emotionally inconsistent. One minute you might be angry, one minute you might be defensive or anxious. One minute you might be vibing with someone, the next minute you pull away, right? Or you get needy. These are all kind of ways your nervous system is responding to potential threats, fears, anxieties, and you need to retrain your system. This actually used to happen to me, funnily enough. I'll give you a quick story. Is I'd be vibing with a girl if I'm talking to her, and then maybe when I started liking her, I'd get a bit needy or I'd push her away. Do you see what I mean? I was inconsistent in my behavior. I couldn't help what I was doing because my system was just responding based upon old traumas from the past, right? It's only when I began to regulate my system could I be authentic, connected, and generally the same person most of the time. Yeah, you still have ups and downs, but you're not this really inconsistent person who's 1 minute vibing with someone, then pushing them away and then pulling them towards you. Like, there's more consistency. And when there's consistency, there's trust. People can connect with you. And that's how you're going to actually feel better. Just generally, you're going to feel better about yourself. Okay? So the emphasis on this is to regulate your nervous system because that is the core of human connection. Without that regulation, there cannot be connection, right? Humans are naturally very social animals. We want to connect, but that is not possible if you are not regulated in your body. Now, if you want extra help with this, I can help you with this. I can help you regulate your nervous system. I can also help you manage your emotions better. If you want to speak to me about that, click the link down below. But understand that this is 80% of the work. If you are single and you've tried everything and nothing has worked, I really suggest you look into nervous system healing, right? Nervous system regulation. Get calmer, more present, more connected. and I think your look will change. Okay, so that is everything I have to talk about in the video. If you have anything to add, any questions, any comments, any personal experiences, hit me up down below. If you want to watch more videos like this, feel free to check out these right here. But until next time, God bless.